So we're not only going to give you tips, and they're not only going to be top tips, but our goal with this is to save you money, because there are so many tips out there that are actually going to make your life harder when it comes to developing e-learning videos. But you need to know how you're going to get the best bang for your buck and the best return for your time when it comes to building e-learning video content. So today, what we're gonna go through is the top 5 tips, and then we're gonna go through the 2 types of e-learning video content. And then we're gonna talk about how the tips influence what you should do when it comes to choosing the best types of video content to use in your e-learning program. Welcome to the eLearning Simplified YouTube channel. My name is Johnny Havey. I'm one of the co-founders of eLearning Partners. And we created this YouTube channel to do one thing, and that is to simplify e-learning for you. E-learning is like an onion. It has a lot of layers, kind of like Shrek. Remember that movie? Some of you may not, and I feel old if you don't, but that's okay. So e-learning is like an onion, and our goal is to simplify it for you so that all you have to do is provide amazing, remarkable content and knowledge to your learners, because that's the most important part here is your learners. This should say e-learnering, not just e-learning. So let's dive in. What are the 5 top tips for you when you're thinking about creating, you are creating, or you're thinking about hiring someone to create e-learning videos? Tip number 1, you always want to do a cost benefit analysis. What is that? Well, really, the reason why this is the number 1 tip is because, yeah, you're gonna hear that you need good audio and your lighting should be good. Make sure your camera's in focused. You know, scripting is important, but maybe you should just have bullet points instead of a script. I'm gonna write them all down here. But none of that matters if you don't have budget for it. And none of that matters if you're not gonna get return from it. So when we go through the types over here, we're gonna tell you the cost benefit of each type of content as well. The biggest tip we have for you is to do a cost benefit analysis of the rest of the tips and the types. Here's an example. If you could record your own e-learning videos with your cell phone, and that would create 60 to 70% learner engagement, or if you were to hire out a video production company to shoot the same content, and it would get you 65 to 75% engagement, would it be worth spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to get the additional 5%? No, not at all. That is what we mean by cost benefit analysis. So I am a CPA. Before starting eLearning Partners and starting this YouTube channel, I worked for one of the big 4 accounting firms. And I went to school for this. And the biggest thing that I took away from my time in accounting is, even if you have the money to purchase something, if you're not going to get a significant return on investment that is significantly more than the alternatives, then why would you do it? So that is the top tip when you're doing anything, but especially with this, because some types of videos are just extremely expensive and the return may not even be better than the more modestly priced options. Tip number 2, micro. When you are creating e-learning content today, unless you're creating content for YouTube, so there is a little asterisk here, you need to make sure it's micro. So when we define micro, we define a e-learning video to be less than 10 minutes long, okay? Now there are certain situations where you can have a longer video, especially if you were talking about technical topics the more technical the topic, where you can't break it down. So if you have like a 15-minute technical topic and you really can't figure out where to break it into a 5 and a 10-minute, or 2 7.5 minutes, or however the math adds up, then yeah, it's fine to have it a little longer. Also on YouTube, YouTube actually prioritizes videos that are longer because of runtime. In order for YouTube to compete with Netflix and these other streaming services, they care most about runtime, because the longer you are watching a video, the more ads they can serve to you. And the longer you're going to be on their platform, you're going to binge content, etc. So while learning is still best in micro chunks, if you're building content for YouTube, and this is why you'll see that on our YouTube channel, we have some longer videos. This video is probably longer than 10 minutes. And it's because we're not as worried about it, because we're on YouTube and they prioritize longer form content. Now, I'm not talking about 3-hour form content. I'm talking about 20 to 30 minutes. But micro is super important. And we'll talk a little bit more about the types of videos and how you can really dig into the micro tip. Number 3, good audio. Why am I saying good audio? Because good audio, not perfect audio. You don't need perfect audio, but you need good audio. And this comes back to the cost-benefit analysis and why that's the number 1 tip. Good audio, not perfect audio. Now, if you are an audio expert, or you have an audio expert on your team, and it's not going to take them very long or you very long to bring good to perfect. And when I say very long, I mean, if it takes double the time to produce an e-learning video that has good audio, and it takes double the time to create an e-learning video that has perfect audio, probably not worth it. Because are you going to get an additional return of double because you're spending double? Or you're spending either double the money or double the time. So good audio is important. You want good audio. This means that should you record an e-learning video with the microphone on your computer? No. But should you spend money on a $1,000, and you're probably going to hear me touch this right now. I'm touching this. This isn't necessarily good audio. Now this is bad audio though, because you probably can't hear me at all. This would be bad audio. This would be good audio or closer to perfect audio because we spent $1,000 per mic. You don't need to spend $1,000 on a mic. You can spend less than $100 on a microphone on Amazon and get good audio. Will it be perfect? No. But are you going to get 10 times the benefit buying this mic setup? You're not. And you're going to have to learn how to use it and all this other stuff too. So is it worth it? No. Good audio is all you need. Cost-benefit analysis, good audio. Now, you don't want to have happen what I was doing where I was touching the phone a ton. Like, it's okay if you touch it once or twice, it's fine. But if I'm talking and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to keep touching this, probably not a good thing. You don't know what the heck I'm saying. I think I made my point. Number 4, make sure your camera is in focus. Now, if you're using your iPhone or your Android or your smartphone, the phone is going to always do its best to keep the subject in focus. Now, what you can do is click on the screen, put your subject in that box that pops up, and that will do a very good job of keeping them in focus. Now, if you're investing in a camera or other equipment that's more advanced, then it could be harder for you to keep things in focus. But you want to make sure that focus is always pulled. That is the technical term. Pulling focus means whatever you want the focus of the video to be. So we talk a lot about human-to-human interaction in e-learning. So your human who is in the video, you want to make sure that they are in focus and not blurry. Okay? Super important. If you have a super blurry subject, that is going to distract your learners. You need your subject matter expert, your presenter to be in focus. So focus is always pulled. If you want to know the technical term, that's what we're doing. We're pulling focus. Now your camera on your phone is going to pull focus for you. Number 5, and this kind of goes along with number 4, you need clean lighting. What do we mean by this? If you are not an expert at videography, then don't get creative with the lighting. The more creative you get with the lighting, what I mean by that is, you're like, hey, our subject matter expert is actually really distressed today, and we want everyone to know that. So we're gonna like put one light over here, we're gonna set it up so half of his face is all shadowed, and we're gonna get really dramatic. That's what we're doing. No, don't do that unless you're an expert. If you're an expert at video production, then okay, mess around with the shadows and all this stuff if you really want to. Yet again, cost-benefit analysis. Does it really matter if half of the face is, more shadowed and stuff? Probably doesn't. Now, it depends on your learner, depends on the training. There's more videos on that. But in general, clean lighting is extremely important. Clean lighting. So let's make sure that you can see the person presenting. So the lighting here, it's pretty basic. There's just 4 panels. They're lighting me, you can see me. I am in focus. The audio is decent. There you go. Clean lighting. Make sure that you can see the subject matter expert. Now we have a bonus tip, and this really has to do with pre-production. And yet again, this is a cost-benefit analysis point. But the bonus tip is this. When you are scripting your videos, your e-learning videos, first of all, it's going to take more time to write the scripts, okay? Now, some people are going to need scripts. So if you have someone who's very nervous on camera, they may be great speakers, but they might be very nervous on camera, then yeah, you could have a script set up and then have a teleprompter set up and do it that way, fine. But the best way to do this, the best way to create e-learning videos is to have script bullet points instead of all of the content being scripted. So script your bullet points and let your subject matter expert go from there and tell the story of the content. So here's the bonus. Bullet point. Don't script. That's the bonus. Like I said, if your presenter needs a script, set up the teleprompter, get the script, fine. But the best practice is to bullet point it and then have your presenter just let the information flow. So let's go through the types of videos now. You know our 5 top tips, our bonus tip. Let's go into what types of videos are there when it comes to e-learning video content. There are 2 types. The first one, show and tell. And the second type, practical theory. Now, within show and tell, there are 3 types of videos that we're going to go through. The first one is the screen capture video. The screen capture video is all around the most cost-effective type of video content you can create for your learners. The problem is, it doesn't work in every situation. But if you have a process that you are trying to show someone that's on your computer, on your tablet, on your phone, this is the perfect type of content for you to create. Let's look at the tips. Cost-benefit analysis. How valuable is screen capture content for your learner if you're showing them a process? Extremely valuable, because all they have to do is watch the video and it's going to step-by-step show them exactly what to do. How hard is it to create that video? It's not very hard. You just need someone to know the process and to talk the learner through it as they're capturing it. How do you get good audio? Have a mic that plugs into your computer. Perfect. Focus, you don't even have to worry about anything being in focus because you don't even have to be in the video if you don't want to. We do recommend that you are in the video, so wear something nice, collared shirt, have that webcam on, and you can put yourself kind of in the bottom corner of the video. But you don't have to worry about it. The camera's gonna pull focus for you. Lighting is gonna be important. If you opt to have your face in the video, make sure the lighting's clean, they can see your face, you're good to go. Bullet points, not scripted. Cool thing here, you can have bullet points on your desk or even on your screen and just don't share that part of the screen, and you can take people through the process. Screen capture, show and tell videos are phenomenal. Second type of show and tell video. We're gonna call this a camera capture. Now you can use your smartphone to do this, or you can invest in a camera and do this as well. Show and tell camera capture videos is where you take a process. So let's say that you're showing someone how to change a sprinkler head. We have a great client called Sprinklers Inc., irrigation company, irrigation professionals, lots of show and tell content about how to change a sprinkler head. They actually used a GoPro. That's waterproof. Makes sense. Invest in a GoPro, waterproof GoPro, and they shot the show and tell content themselves of how to change a sprinkler head. That's what we mean. Show exactly what's going on. Extremely high quality, highly effective type of e-learning content. Go through this cost-benefit analysis. You could do this with a phone. Not that expensive. Everyone has phones. Micro, I forgot about the micro part for screen capture too. I mean, the micro piece, you're just gonna have to be cognizant of how long the video is. So if you're showing how to change a sprinkler head, maybe there's different parts to that. Different parts you have to change on the sprinkler head. So maybe you do a 5-minute video on each part. Simple show and tell. Also, you could record the whole process and then in post-production, cut it up into parts. Same thing with screen capture. Record the whole process and then in post-production, cut it up into segments. Good audio for camera capture. You may be out on the field changing a sprinkler head, show it there, record the audio with that mic you have with your computer later. So you can have good audio, not perfect audio, but good audio. Or you can just put some filters and some denoisers on the actual footage later on, clean up the audio a little bit. Very easy to do, just search it on YouTube. Plenty of simple audio editing techniques. Focus, make sure that what you're showing has the focus pulled and clean lighting. Let's make sure we can see that. And then bullet point, not scripted. Just make sure that you know exactly what you're going to talk about. Remember though, you could technically record the showing and then record the telling later, and you can have that script in front of you for that bullet point script. Now the third show and tell type of content is animated. Now, people get sucked into animated too quickly because if you go onto Upwork or Fiverr, you can get really low quotes for animated video content. You can get a 1-minute video for $100 or less. Fantastic. That sounds amazing. But how much work are you and your team gonna have to put in? And that's the problem, is there's so many variables in animated videos that you're really opening up Pandora's box, and it could take you months to finish a 1-minute video and tens of hours, hundreds of hours of your time and your team's time trying to figure out the perfect look and feel for that animated video. It actually creates a ton of work for you investing in animated video content. Micro, it actually is easy to make animated videos micro because you're going to figure out that they're going to have to be micro because it's going to take you so long to build one of them. You're only going to want them to be 1 to 2 minutes long. Good audio is fine. Easy to get good audio and animated because you're probably going to record the audio separate. Focus isn't an issue. Clean lighting isn't an issue. But you're going to want to make sure that the images that are being animated are very clean and easy to understand. And that bullet point, not scripted. You can actually script animated videos. Yet again, it's not as pure of a way to teach. Animated, nothing wrong with it. It's just extremely expensive, time consuming, And in the end, you're only going to get a little bit of animated video for what you could get hours of these other pieces of content. So we don't really like animated, but it is an option in show and tell. Now, practical theory. There are really two main practical theory types of video content. The first one is PowerPoint. And the great thing is you can actually use a screen capture software to record your PowerPoint. So you don't actually need to invest in a fancy authoring tool like Captivate. Captivate's great, easy way to take PowerPoint slides and make them into an e-learning training video. Problem is Captivate's gonna cost you $1,000 plus, and you're gonna have to learn how to use Captivate. It can become a much bigger hassle than just pressing record on a screen capture software like Loom and just having your PowerPoint slides shared on the screen. Really easy way to do practical theory. When we mean practical theory, we're talking about, we're not showing and telling anymore. We're not showing like different processes, how to do things. We're talking through the theory of what we're trying to teach our learners. So if you're trying to teach your learners the best way to sell a certain product, you could have a PowerPoint slide deck built out with all those steps of like how to sell a product, and then record the screen, show the slides, go through the slides, record your audio with that microphone, get that good audio. Don't have to worry about focus being pulled yet again, because you're going to use your webcam and you can put your face in the corner if you want, or don't at all and just have your audio. Clean lighting is only applicable if your face is in it. Now, bullet point, don't script, same thing. Bullet point what you want to say. Great thing is your PowerPoint slides act as your bullet points, which is sweet. So now you don't even have to do extra work scripting. They're just going to act as your bullet points. You're just going to record it right there. Now, our favorite part of practical theory content is what we're using right now, Lightboard. Now, there is some investment here because you got to buy the Lightboard. We'll have a link in the description below, and we have a ton of content on our YouTube channel about Lightboards. This one, I think nowadays you can buy it for about $1,500. And then, yeah, you're gonna have to have a camera. You could technically use your phone though, and then use that $15 microphone or whatever Amazon's selling those microphones for now. And you could record your Lightboard video content. What we like about Lightboard is it takes the least amount of prep time from the standpoint of you don't have to build out all these PowerPoint slides. Really all you have to do is come up with, okay, here's the 5 top tips that we want to teach about video e-learnings. And then, yeah, we're going to give them a bonus tip. We're also going to talk about the types. We didn't have to build a bunch of slides. We just bullet pointed this all out. And I have a sheet. Well, actually, I don't have a sheet. I'm writing on a table below here. So I have all my notes right here. Really easy. So that's why we like Lightboard, is because amazing practical theory. Learners love it. It's easy to teach. From a cost-benefit analysis, you're going to have to sink some money on upfront to get the Lightboard. So this specific Lightboard, like I said, is about $1,500. There are cheaper ones. I think there's one for $1,000. There are bigger ones, so you can get them for like $2,500, $5,000, etc. But this one works pretty well. This is actually our favorite size Lightboard. We've worked with tons of different size Lightboards, and this is our favorite. So $1,500 really isn't that big of an initial investment. Now, you do have to know how to edit it in post. You got to flip it in post and whatnot. But that's why you can also hire out a company to do it, and you can really crank out a ton of this content all at once. And when you're really looking at all these different types, remember, come back to that cost-benefit analysis. Depending on what the pricing is, do you want to work with a company to develop this type of content or not? And how much is it going to be? If you hire out a professional like video production company that has Hollywood video pricing, it could be $25,000 for 10 minutes of content. If you can get a large amount of e-learning content, like an hour of content for less than 10 grand, you're probably doing pretty good. Now, it depends on what your budget is. So if your budget for your entire project is 10 grand and you have to build 30 hours of video, well, you're probably looking at a lot of show and tell videos, screen capture, a lot of phone-based capture, so using your camera on your phone to capture show and tell. And then for practical theory, you're probably doing PowerPoint recordings. And that's fine, that's gonna work. But if you have a little more money, maybe you invest in a organization to help you out with that content, or maybe invest in your own light board and shoot it yourself, learn how to edit it because you have to flip the image in post, do some lighting things. That's really it. The top tips for using videos in e-learning. I hope this is helpful. We really like these tips. Don't think you'll find these, at least discussed in this way, in many places online. We've been doing this for a long time. We understand how the cost benefit part of this works. A lot of people don't talk about the cost benefit. They're like, here's the tips, but it's actually gonna be double the amount of time and double the investment. It's like, no, there's no point then. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so that you will get notified every time we put out new content. And if you need help figuring out what type of e-learning content is best for you, your program, your learners, really you gotta figure out who your learners are, define who they are, define who they want, and get a step-by-step process of what to do from there. The great thing is we have a link to our MasterClass, our free MasterClass that you get instant access to below in the description. So check out that link. And what we do is we go through our step-by-step process of how to build and launch an e-learning program from scratch, or maybe you've already started on your program or have your program out there, but your learners aren't engaging. Check out the MasterClass. The MasterClass alone will help you solve numerous challenges of why your program may not be working. And really, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the first 2 steps with you and complete them with you on the MasterClass, and then give you the rest of the steps you need to build and launch that program successfully. So definitely check that out, and we'll see you in the next video.